Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another English class here with me, Bradford. I'll be your teacher for the next, well, not too long actually today, for probably only about 25 or 30 minutes. Yeah. Today's class is going to be quite short and straightforward. We are going to continue from what we started last week. We did the zero, first, and second conditionals last week. Today we will do the third conditional. We will see the third conditional, and we will look at wish. Okay, wish takes the second conditional and the third conditional forms when we talk about the present and the past, and we will look at that too. So actually, it looks like I'm only talking to Ugo right now, so that's fantastic. Hello, Ugo. Welcome, and maybe some of our other friends will be here soon. But let's get started anyway. And hey, V's here. Okay, very good. Oh, and Barbara is here. Well, this is very strange. My thing is only saying that one person is connected, but that's okay, no problem. I'm glad that V and Barbara are here with Ugo and me. Obviously, I'm here. So let's get started. Let's get going. Barbara, you will have seen this last week a little bit with the third conditional, but this is the B1 group, so it is a little bit easier. Right. Let me see how change this over. Okay, get out of the way. And here we have it. Oh, and by the way, I'm in a new room today. I know you can't tell because I put the presentation here and I have the green screen and things, but you might hear it in the audio a little bit. I'm in a bigger room and there might be a little bit of echo. So, I had to make some changes here in the academy now that we are in a new phase and people can start coming to the academy. So anyway, hope it doesn't bother you. Today we're going to do the third conditional and wish. It's the 20th of May, 2020. Third conditional. Okay, so what is the structure of the third conditional? Well, we have to know that we are talking about the past and that, again, like the first and the second conditional, we have the two clauses. We have the if clause and the main clause. And when we talk about the third conditional, usually it's to talk about regret. Okay, regret is something that you're not happy about in the past. Okay, you think, oh man, why did I do that? Or why didn't I do that? So when you talk about that in the past, we use the third conditional, and we will see some examples now of that. Right. So here is the structure. We have in the if clause, if she had run faster, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, the very first lesson we did here on the videos for the B1 group, I think, was the past perfect. You may be able to correct me if I don't remember perfectly. So this is the past perfect. If she had run, si hubiese corrido, okay, or ido más rápido, faster, if she had run faster in the, now I'm going backwards, in the past, she would have won the race. Okay, she would have won the race. And here we have would, which is the conditional, and have won. Now, some people or some books like to teach this as would plus the present perfect. Yeah, you can do that. I like having would have together because that really is what it is like in Spanish. Yeah, habría. So I like thinking of would have as one, the conditional part of it, and then using the participle later. So she would have won the race. And we can use other modals with the have. Yeah, so would have, could have, might have. You know, it's not for certain, but if she had run faster, she might have won. Yeah, it was a good possibility. We will never know because she didn't run faster and she didn't win the race. Notice that it's in the past. And the second row, all is showing is that flip you can flip the if clause and the main clause, and it has the same meaning. Okay. Are there any questions? Has anybody got a question or an issue or something with this? If you do, now is the time to put it in the chat box. If not, then we can move on. The activity today is very easy. It's going to be a matching activity. I think the hardest part for people to remember, and this translates quite the same in Spanish. So, I mean, if you remember, basically this part is the subjunctive in Spanish. If you remember that, in English we use the past perfect, you're not going to have any problems. Yeah. If she had run faster, if she had studied more, if she had driven, if she had driven slower, then I don't know why I wanted to say droven, but that's horrible. It almost came out of my mouth and I was like, that doesn't sound right. If she had driven slower, if she had read more, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so this is really the hardest part here. Now, sometimes people get confused when the main verb is also have. So if she had had a brother, or if she had had breakfast, right? Had together, but it's the auxiliary and the main verb. If she had had breakfast, she wouldn't be hungry. She wouldn't have been hungry. Sorry, I'm doing mixed conditionals, which is which is what we did in the B2 group last week. So if she had had breakfast, she wouldn't have been hungry. Okay. No questions, then let's go on and do our exercise before we look at wish. So here I have where's my pointer? Here I have the beginning of some sentences and the end of some sentences, and I want you to match them. Okay, so you need to write the entire sentence in the chat box together, and we can read those and see if they're correct or not. So now is the time, and I'm not in the way because I'm just barely like, hello, there's the sentence right there. Okay, fine. Okay, anyway, I can make myself just a little bit smaller so I'm not so much touching the sentence. There we go. Okay, so type into the chat box, the sentence. If I hadn't studied last night, what's the ending? What's the second part of the sentence? So it looks like it's going to be Hugo V and Barbara deciding or participating. No, Hugo. I'm not going to let you do 3-1. I didn't put numbers and I didn't put letters on purpose. Yeah. I want you to write the sentence. Yeah. You're correct. The third part or the third beginning goes with the first ending, but I would like you to write out the sentence. Okay. Why? Why do I want you to write out the sentence? Well, because this makes your brain process the information. Okay. This isn't a cognitive, really. It's not a cognitive exercise. This is an English exercise. I need you to write out the sentence. Okay. So try it again, or do another one if you want to skip on to a different one. And write out the sentence. If I hadn't studied, Hugo said, if they hadn't eaten the seafood, they wouldn't have had upset stomachs. Yeah. I mean, that's the correct answer. I think everybody is out enjoying phase one of the of the ending of the quarantine, the de-escalation. If they hadn't, there we go. Okay, so Ugo types out, if I hadn't, and I'm going to give you the answer then. Right. Oh wait, if I hadn't studied last night, her parents would have been furious. Oh wait, okay, so no. V, if I hadn't studied last night, her parents would have been furious. That doesn't really make sense. If I hadn't studied last night, I would have failed badly. Yes. Barbara, that's it. Absolutely. So V, if I hadn't studied last night, why would her parents have been furious? Yeah. Doesn't work. So if I hadn't studied last night, I would have failed badly if I hadn't. But I did study, so I didn't fail badly. If he had won the race, they'd have given him a trophy. Okay, Ugo, I like it. Anybody for number or the second one? If she had stayed at the party, her parents would have been furious. Yeah, okay. So if she had stayed at the party, her parents would have been furious. V, does that make more sense to you? Do you see how that makes more sense? Like she had stayed at the party, her parents would have been furious. A side note about pronouns. There is a part on the exam where you need to be able to understand texts, like in the readings. And a lot of times in the questions, they ask about her or she or his or him. You need to be able to match and follow the pronouns because if they're changing people, that's important. Ugo had said before, if they hadn't eaten the seafood, they would have had upset stomachs. They wouldn't have had upset stomachs. If we hadn't gone for a run, we wouldn't have been so exhausted. Absolutely, Ugo. And if he had won the race, they'd have given him a trophy. Okay, if she'd stayed at the, yeah. Okay, so that's the third conditional. It's not difficult. And there really aren't any traps. Okay, the difficult part is putting it into context and using it when you need to use it. It's a bit long, but other than that, it's not really very difficult grammar. Now, wish, that's different. Okay, wish, we are talking about something that's not real. Okay, this is imaginary, like the second conditional. If I won the lottery, I would buy a car. Okay, or if I had €1,000,000, I would buy a Ferrari, for example. I don't have €1,000,000, right? Because if I had €1,000,000 is it's not real. I would buy a Ferrari. So that's the second conditional. And the third conditional, which we saw here, if he had won the race, they'd have given him a trophy. If he had won the race, well, he didn't win the race. So if he had won the race, that's imaginary. It's not real. And wish does that for us, okay, as well. So we can see in the present, I wish, and that is in parentheses because it's not necessary. You can use it, but it's not necessary. I wish that I lived in a big house in the countryside. Okay? I wish that I lived in a big house in the countryside. Now, it's present, but we're using the past simple. Okay, whoops. Why are we using the past simple? Yeah, because it's present and imaginary. In Spanish, you use the subjunctive. Ojalá que viviese en una casa grande, blah, blah, blah. Right? So, o viviera. This is the past subjunctive. I wish that I lived in a big house in the countryside. I don't. I live in a small flat in the city, but I wish I lived in a big house in the countryside now. And the negative, she wishes that she didn't live in a small apartment or a small flat in the city. All right, so that's kind of how that connects to the second conditional. Now, in the past, which is what we have just seen, the third conditional, we need to use the past perfect construction here to talk about the past. I wish that I had studied more for the exam. Damn it, I'm going to be in the way. No, I'm not in the way. Hey, I'm not in the way. All right, I thought I was. I wish that I had studied more for the exam. I'm sorry. Well, I failed, for example. I put he failed. That's a mistake. I wish I had studied more for the exam. I failed. I'm going to change that because it's bothering me. Okay. I wish I had studied more for the exam. I failed. Okay. I didn't study for the exam very much, and that's why I failed. I wish, ojalá, I wish that I had studied more for the exam in the past. So, had studied in the past, studied in or lived in the present. She wishes that she hadn't gone to the beach. It was so crowded. All right, so here we go, and I lost my pointer again. Hadn't gone, the negative of the past perfect construction, to talk about the past. So wish and wishes, those stay the same. Okay, what I mean is that they are in the present. Even if we talk about the past, the wish is now, like, oh, I wish I had studied for the exam more. I wish now that in the past I had studied for the exam. Is that clear? Can I get a thumbs up? Can I get a yes? Can I get a hoorah, woohoo, or something? If that's clear. If not, then now is the time to, yay, Barbara, yes, with an exclamation mark. I like it. If it's not clear, now is the time for a question. Ugo, thumbs up. Barbara, yes. And I hope V also agrees with me. Let's move on then and do our exercise. I'm losing my voice and I don't like it. Yes, very good. Okay, so here are some examples of the wish in the present. Okay, so this is very easy. So more than just putting the words in the spaces, I want you to consciously think about the sentence, okay? I wish that I lived in a big house in the countryside. Oh, I don't live in a big house, but it would be cool if I did, right? I wish that I lived in a big house. Okay, so give me the answers. Very good, Ugo. And think about the sentences. They wish they didn't have a test today. They do have a test today, but they wish they didn't. All right, you know the drill. Barbara, Ugo, V, attack. John wishes that he knew how to speak Spanish. Very good. It's raining. I wish I didn't had to go outside now. Ooh, Ugo. V, excellent. Good catch, V. Be careful, Ugo. That's a very easy mistake to make. Yeah, with the past, with the negative, we use the infinitive then. I know you know that. It was a small mistake. My friend wishes she lived in Tokyo. Excellent, Ugo. Excellent, V. You guys are kicking butt. Doing this very well. I wish that my neighbors didn't make so much noise. Wow, you guys are locking step. You guys are kicking butt. I'm sorry. I wish I liked chocolate, but I don't. I like this restaurant. I wish that we came here more often. Right. My teacher wishes I didn't arrive late for class. V jumped straight to 10. Excellent. I have never seen snow. I wish it snowed in Florida. I wish it snowed in Valencia, for example. I've never seen snow. Well, I've seen snow because I grew up in Buffalo and there is a lot of snow in Buffalo. But it might be something that somebody might say in Valencia. I think we should travel this summer. I wish that you agreed with me. You don't agree with me. Why don't you? Well, can't really travel much this summer, can we? We spend too much money. I wish that we didn't spend so much money. Okay, that was very easy, and I hope that it's clear. I hope that you can incorporate wish in the present into your English. Okay, when you do the speaking exam on the pet exam, putting wish in at some point um, will really up your mark. Okay, because it's not really that easy. All right, so now let's do wish in the past, and this goes from easy to difficult. John is late because he slept too long. Tell me the sentence using wish, but with the same meaning as the first sentence. Okay, so rewrite the sentence so it has the same meaning using wish. And this does come up on the exam. Well, more on the B2 exam, but I've seen it on the B1. John is late because he slept too long. Although I think they changed the B1 exam now. I'm going to have to refresh my memory on whether or not they include the grammar. V says John wishes didn't sleep too long. You're thinking V. You're thinking didn't sleep, which is what we did for the present, but he's late because in the past he slept too long. And remember, when we use wish in the past, we need to use the past perfect construction, yeah, that had plus the participle. Okay, the had plus the participle will get us what we need. So maybe try the first one again, V. No problem, Ugo. I imagine you hit the return button instead of the delete button. The same V with the second one, okay? Be careful because you need to use the that past perfect construction like in the third conditional, all right? The same thing with all right, slow down, V. You're going really fast and I like it, but we have to make sure that we do it correctly, okay? So be careful. Go back to the first one. The same with you, Ugo. Okay, so we need to think the third conditional. We needed the had plus the participle. Okay, Barbara, thank you. John wishes that he hadn't slept so long or too long, right? Um, he slept too long, so he wishes he hadn't slept so long. Tanto. So long is tanto. And then too long is demasiado, right? So he wishes he hadn't slept so long because now he's late. If he hadn't slept so long, he wouldn't have been late. And in number 2, I'm starving because I didn't have breakfast this morning. I wish Okay, so looking for number 2, V said, I wish I had breakfast this morning. Almost, V. Nobody else has tried number 2. Ugo, can you try number 2? Ooh. Okay, so I wish I didn't had breakfast this morning. Ugo, you made the same mistake again, but I wish I had had breakfast this morning. That's right. Okay. Barbara got it. I wish I had had breakfast this morning. Oops. That's annoying. Tell me that I did that for all of them, and I'll be very upset. No. Barbara got it right. I wish I had had breakfast this morning. That's right. Yeah, because we have the present. I'm sorry, the past perfect construction. But remember, I told you you have to be careful. Sometimes we have had is the auxiliary and had is the main verb. You had to have breakfast. I wish I had had breakfast this morning. Okay, so concentrate on using this auxiliary had or hadn't in the past, okay? John wishes he hadn't slept so long in the past. I wish I had had breakfast in the past, yeah, this morning. His car broke down because he forgot to change the oil. He forgot in the past. So he wishes they wish make up to the photo. No, that's not right. Try again, V. Okay, she wishes didn't drink all the coffee. Okay, V, we're not using did or didn't. You have to use had or hadn't. I wish I had had breakfast. John wishes he hadn't slept so long. And we have to be careful that we use the subject again. Okay, so John and he, I and I. He wishes he had forgotten to change the oil. Okay, be careful, Barbara, because your sentence is saying that he wishes he had forgotten to change the oil. So that means he didn't forget to change the oil, and he wishes that he had forgotten to change the oil. But if he had changed the oil, he wouldn't have broken down. So we need to. He wishes he had changed the oil, or he wishes he hadn't forgotten to change the oil. He hadn't forgotten to change the oil. All right. I'll put the second sentence in there. He wishes he hadn't forgotten to change the oil. And then you can compare. Basically, Barbara, you just needed to do the negative. Okay, so here, what have we got? They didn't like the photos because they weren't wearing makeup. They weren't, in the past, they weren't wearing makeup. Oh, I can't talk today. So they wish, so here we have to use the verb be. Let's see. They wish. V says they wish. They. No. Try again, V, for the fourth one. I think everybody is thinking about the fourth one and they're not quite sure. Yeah, I told you they were going to get more difficult. Yeah. So I'll give you another, let's say, 5 or 10 seconds before I show the answer, just so we don't have too much downtime. I hope everybody is getting out and doing some exercise now that we can. Oops, sorry about that. There's a squeak from the microphone. Okay, so this one is a bit more complicated because we've got the verb to be. Yeah, to be wearing makeup. They weren't wearing makeup, so it's the past continuous. So they wish. Where's my? They wish they had worn makeup, or you can say they wish they had been wearing makeup. Okay, they both work, and I'll put the other answer here. They wish they had been wearing makeup. Okay, so that works as well. Two ways of saying that. They wish they had worn makeup, or they wish they had been wearing makeup. So let's take a look now. Let's move on to the next one, the final one. She felt nervous because she drank too much coffee. So did anybody make an attempt at this one? I think V did, but she used didn't. And you're really very close, V. Try again on the last one. She wishes she wishes she have I lost? No, okay, I was gonna say maybe I lost connection. Right, okay. I'll give you another 5 seconds to try to do this one. We need to remember the past participle of drink. Barbara says she wished she hadn't drank so much coffee. Just what I was saying. Okay, so what is the past participle of drink? Good attempt, Barbara. Yes, okay, obviously, yeah, you want to change wish for wishes. What is the past participle of drink? It's drink, drank, drunk. So she wishes, that's right, Ugo, yes. She wishes she hadn't drunk so much coffee. Okay, good. Yes, Barbara, you got it. She wishes she hadn't drunk so much coffee. No, you know what? I apologize all the time for being like in the way. So I get the apologies, but don't worry about it. Don't apologize. Where's Enrique today anyway? Yeah, Enrique wasn't here last week either. Maybe we'll see him tomorrow. Okay, that's it. I mean, obviously, wish with the third person. I'm sorry, the third. Sorry, wish in the past presented quite a challenge for you. Actually, it was quite difficult for a lot of you to remember that when we talk about a regret in the past or something we wish had been different, hubiese sido diferente, then we have to use the Enrique will be tomorrow. Okay, great. Then you have to use the had or hadn't and the past participle, not the did. Did is when it's in the present, and I know that sounds confusing, but if we remember the second and the third conditional, that will help us with wish. Next week we can practice some more, or if you Google, English, use wish, you will find some activities to help you with that. I am sure they're everywhere. Well, that's it for today. It's a short lesson. Today was only how long was it? Half an hour. Yeah, a half an hour class. I want to keep it short. I'm trying to do some different things here at the academy. New room, trying to open up for some people to come in to do the pre-registration and pre-inscription for next year, and well, we'll see how that all goes. Thank you again, everybody, for coming and sharing the time with me. I hope that it was useful. I hope that you learned something new. And I will see some of you tomorrow, and I'll see the others next week. Bye bye.